各位爱真多视频号的观众，大家好！我们今天呢，在阳光灿烂的上海德威学校的浦西校区的图书馆里，采访两位非常资深的大学生导老师，一位是 Carlo， 一位是 Mark， 相信会和他们两位有一段有趣的对话。其实蛮吃惊的了解到，我们德威每年有很多学生申请美国方向的学校。我们过去的历史成绩大概是怎么样的？能不能请二位给我们说一下？
In Dulwich Suzhou, we have about 40% of our students every year will go to America. One of the specialties about Dulwich High School Suzhou is we have A-level graphics and A-level art, and these students, they get many scholarships every year from America. But we also had 40 offers last year from the UCs, and many special students along the way as well.
We have about half of our students that apply to the US and get offers there.
You mean Dulwich Shanghai Pudong campus?
That's correct. Yes. Last year, the class of 2025, with an exceptionally good year. Offers from Princeton, Columbia, Stanford, Northwestern. So we're excited about that.
How big is the class size last year?
Last year, the class size was 47 students.
Well, that's amazing. 德威的申导大概是在孩子几年级的时候加入到他们这个申请的流程当中。那每个年级具体会做一些什么
We are a 4-year high school, so as soon as the students come in year 10, we are very much teaching them and their parents from the very get-go.
And then in year 11, we introduce them to a bit of initial research into universities. What do they expect from a university? How do they envision what that looks like? And then we have an activity called the Reverse University Fair, where we have students researching a particular university and play the role of the admission person. How do they sell the university to a student? And then we switch roles, the other student becomes the admission rep. So they get a bit of a feeling of how that works when they meet a university and what are the strong points that they are looking for. In year 12, we want to empower the students to go through the process, and we as counselors, we support them, we guide them through that process.
Do you work like super long hours, especially like during the final few months of the application season?
Yeah, the October-November time for me is very, very busy. I say goodbye to my wife in about September, and I say hello to her again in December.
这个太形象了，比喻。你们也可以给我们一些以往的例子，也许是学习成绩没有那么突出，但是去到了大学，甚至以后的工作岗位也做得非常好的。
Last year we're talking about EDs there, a girl who went to Boston. Normally we tell, if you want Boston you have to do 4 A-levels. She only had 3, but she insisted that was where she wanted. Actually, she'd done a lot of volunteer work, created her own charity. They were delivering toys to the orphanages. They were doing so much. I was able to write about this in the letter of recommendation. Her teachers said what an amazing student this was. The predicted grades are important. The actual grades from AS and GCSE and the 4 years of high school, very important. But the US, they do look at everything else.
An extra question based on this girl, because you said Dulwich Suzhou is a boarding school, so which means she's doing those activities within the school.
We have day students as well, but so they have that ability to do more because they're there all day. They have a little bit more supervision in the evenings. Because we're a boarding school, they can access the labs in the evenings if they ask the teacher. They have a little bit more time. I often explain it to parents that the UK is looking at the application and saying, would I want this student in my lecture theatre? But the US universities are saying, would I want to be this student in my dormitory, living next door to me? They're going to look at everything about that person. Whereas the UK, it's only someone sitting in my lecture. It's really the grades that are the most important.
For the US, when you join a college or university, you become part of this community. They expect you to be active in that community. And they look at what the student has done in high school to get a feeling of how active the student can become on the college campus. So they look at leadership positions or volunteer work, a broad interest. All of that develops skills that are equally important as the academic skill. So for the US, it's important to have both sides.
Do you have any suggestions or advice towards the students of like upcoming applicants?
Start early. Every one of the Dulwiches hosts university fairs. Start talking to those universities when they come in. What is it like to live on campus? What it's like to live in the dormitory or be on this course or that course. And don't ask what the TOEFL level is because you can read that on the website. Really take an interest earlier, then you'll be more prepared when it comes to those decisions in year 13.
With the highly competitive schools, one thing is getting in. But then once you're in, it's also staying in because the student will be surrounded with all other students that are highly competitive, that
That's
are
right.
academically very strong.
That's right.
So the student still has to keep up that level for the next 3 or 4 years. And that's a whole different story. We are transparent in the process, we're transparent with families and with students to make sure that they end up going to a university that is the right fit for them, academically and personally and financially, all the other factors.
But equally, we're both parents. My son is in year 13 this year.
Oh.
I understand what a parent is going through. You really like that idea of your child suddenly going up a level of university can be quite exhilarating. But actually, if it feels wrong, it's probably wrong. And it's probably not going to be right for your child to go to a university where they have little chance of graduating.
刚刚跟这个 Carlo 和 Mark 我们聊了一聊关于德威的升学。我在这个 session 最大的体会就是，他们2个人没有什么特别的豪言壮语，都特别的朴素，但是每一步都是为学校的孩子做考虑、做打算的，包括和学生的交流、和家长的交流，所以是一个非常真心和扎实的对话。谢谢2位 ，Thank you。